Welcome to Work Style Stories, because life changes and every life is different. This week I'm joined by Tox. Hello.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about accessing work, getting into work, tackling discrimination, and working remotely. But before we get into all of that, Tox, would you mind telling us who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Hiya. My name is Tox Coyle. I'm a virtual assistant. I'm based in East Lothian, near Edinburgh in Scotland. And yeah, that's a bit about me, I guess.
Amazing. So, Tox, let's talk about your kind of work history. So getting into work in the first place, so finishing school and finding work, what was that like for you?
It was difficult actually, because I did sixth form. Even I found doing my A levels a bit hard as well, because I was struggling with kind of like depression and other stuff like that. So that affected my grades a bit, and I didn't go to uni. But also there was that 2008 recession on at the time as well. So, I was hidden from it a bit anyway, from studying. But then by the time I came out and was trying to look for work, it was so difficult. Like I was applying for everything, and it was just really hard to get on the ladder, really. And then there was also like a bit of worries about like discrimination and stuff, because I had people say like, if you've got an African name or a name that obviously doesn't look white, then it's going to be harder to get jobs. And you can never 100% say if that's the case unless people tell you. But I've had, I did have like even when I tried to do a working holiday in Australia anyway, I had an agency say like, oh, you need to shorten your name on your CV to make it easier to pronounce. Anyway, they didn't mention race directly, but that's where they're getting at anyway. But
do you know what? This isn't the first time I've heard this, and so it doesn't surprise me, although it is obviously disappointing, and it's something that we need to change.
Definitely.
Certainly within the Work Style Revolution, we're trying to help people to be more okay to talk about their identity, and to use their the name they were given, and to be okay with that, because it's other people's attitudes that needs to change, rather than you need to change your name. So let's talk about. So that must have been pretty difficult. So what did you do as a result of that? Did you find work in the end? What did you do next?
So Australia didn't really work out anyway, because I couldn't really find a suitable full-time job. So it happens. I went home early, and when I went back to the UK, my dad did help me get a full-time job in one of his friends' companies. So if it weren't for that, I don't know what I'd be doing. Probably just struggling to get jobs again. So I did that for about a year, and then I eventually moved up to Edinburgh in Scotland, because I met my husband in Australia, and he's from Edinburgh. So I moved up there, and ended up just going back to study again full-time for 2 years. I did a HND in admin and IT.
Right.
I graduated, got good grades as well, always.
Congratulations.
Thanks. But it was still, I don't know, I was going back to the whole job hunt again, and just struggling again, and not feeling very inspired, because it was the sort of thing where I wasn't really that super into or excited about the whole 9 to 5 rat race thing, but I just thought it's the done thing. I didn't know much else what was out there. But then I think one day I did stumble across an article about virtual assistants.
Right.
No, it was about work from home jobs, sorry. But from there, it led me to one of these freelancer websites that mentioned virtual assistants, and I thought, oh, what's that? So I researched it, and I was like, okay, this is something I could probably do, because I kind of always had in the back of my mind, like, oh, it would be quite cool to run my own business. I just never really knew what in until now. It was just like, oh, I've got these skills, like admin, computery skills. I can put them together, running my own business freelance. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing ever since now, I guess. Yeah.
I think that's incredibly entrepreneurial of you to do that. I think, I can relate to being not all that enamored with the idea of 9 to 5 working and just kind of getting on the hamster wheel for the sake of it. And it sounds like you've kind of taken matters into your own hands, which is brilliant, and you deserve a lot of credit for that. So how's it evolved then? So what's your work style like now, and what sort of work are you doing?
Okay, so so basically I work about kind of 9 or 10ish in the morning till about maybe roughly 5 or 6 at night, give or take. Sometimes I work a bit later as well anyway, because like I'm not a morning person, so I'm not going to do the whole working at 8 o'clock. That's not me, but I'm more likely working evenings anyway, because I don't have kids either. I just have a husband and a couple of guinea pigs. So my time is mostly mine anyway. So I kind of...
So you can go with the flow a little bit.
Yeah, which I enjoy anyway. Yeah.
And it sounds like you're busy then. I mean, that's a lot of work each day.
Yeah, definitely. I'm been pretty busy, which is good.
Good for you.
I mean, with my VA business, I also work a part-time admin job at a Scottish homelessness charity. Okay. So I've been doing that for the past 2.5 years. I started there because I had a bit of a wobble in my VA business, just with like, I'm not getting enough regular work and stuff. And I just thought, I'll get working there. Even that job I got through a bit of like a diversity scheme as well, but it is what it is anyway. So, but I enjoyed it,
That's great. And it's worked out well, presumably through the pandemic for you as well, to be able to continue working remotely.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Tox, thank you so much. It's been absolutely brilliant getting to know you and to hearing your story.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. Stay entrepreneurial. And we'll look forward to keeping in touch. We've been Work Style Stories. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.